podcast. We go over things like shows,
Locked in!
championship changes,
Kofi did it! Kofi did it! Kofi did it! Kofi is champion! Locked in!
heel turns,
Tough on this grand stage.
Oh, Becky! Locked in!
and more.
Locked in!
With your host Cheyenne, we welcome you to the Lockdown Showdown podcast.
Locked in!
Hello everybody, welcome to the Lockdown Showdown podcast. It's a very long name, I'm still kind of getting used to it. So this is kind of the new idea I have for the podcast now, and I had a little bit of time on my hands, so I decided to make a podcast for y'all since we already have a lot to talk about anyway. So, I'm just gonna go and start. So, Sunday is WWE Evolution. For those who don't really know what that means, that basically just means that it's a pay-per-view with all women. They haven't had that since, 2017 when I started watching, like at least 5 years ago. I don't really know where it went, but they brought it back, so that's pretty exciting, and that's going to be brought up again later when we're kind of talking about that. So now we're going to go over the June 30th Raw episode. By the time this comes out, the newest Raw episode is probably out, so okay. So WWE World Women's Champion Io Sky challenged Rhea Ripley to a match at Evolution to start the show, and I love the triple threat that they did with Bianca, but I am bloodthirsty for a match between them two. So that's gonna be really, really nice. And then, surprisingly, Finn Balor and JD defeated the New Day to win the WWE World Tag Team titles. It's kind of hard to really have an opinion on the tag team division anymore because Triple H just doesn't do anything with them. Sadly, tag team wrestling used to be my favorite wrestling, but they have not done anything with them. They've only defended the titles on pay-per-view 3 or 4 times since 2023 or something crazy like that, or maybe 2024. Yeah, since 2024, and that's just insane that they never defend their titles on a pay-per-view. And it also kind of makes me a little bit sad because, you don't really hear a lot about the New Day. The New Day are arguably, since you started watching, one of the greatest tag teams of all time, and they're losing to Lord Farquaad. No hate to JD, but the New Day does deserve better, and they've only been holding the title since WrestleMania, and they just, I was preparing for them to have a longer run with the titles, especially since the last time we got a Judgment Day title defense was a long time ago, and on top of that, the last time that they had it, they just never really showed up, never got booked. So I was pretty sad that the New Day lost it so fast, but I'm just praying to Jesus that they actually do something with the Judgment Day, and the Judgment Day has already run its course. I want it to end, please. I can't take it anymore. And the next one I really don't have anything to talk about, but since it's on the Raw card, I will talk about it, is that Rusev defeated Sheamus. It was a pretty good match in my opinion. Obviously Rusev or Sheamus are not, my biggest cup of tea, so I really didn't pay attention too much to that. But from what I did pay attention to, like the actual wrestling wise, it was really good. So then you had Gunther come out for a promo talking about Bill Goldberg, because of course he was. I'm not ready for Saturday night's main event on June 14th, I think. I'm pretty sure it's the day after Evolution, so that is kind of interesting, but I could totally be wrong about that. I'm gonna look that up. But Gunther did come out and talk about Bill Goldberg, because I think by the time this comes out, Saturday night's main event's already done, so oops. But he came out and talked to Bill Goldberg since he was challenging him at Saturday night's main event. I haven't seen anything about Saturday night's main event. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong Saturday, but I swear to you, come here, get in closer. If Goldberg wins that dang title, I'm gonna, you know, there's a window in my room, right? I might jump out of it. Now, let me tell you something about Bill Goldberg. This man is 58 years old. He does not need to be getting world championship matches at 58 years old. There are plenty of other people out there. There are plenty of other people out there that you have that deserve a title shot. And Goldberg is the person that you choose. Triple H, what are you doing? What are you doing? Please. You know, like whenever they had the big show and they were doing, and the audience was doing the chants like, please retire. That's how I am with Goldberg right now. Please just go away. I can't take Goldberg anymore. I can't take him seriously. I mean, this man, I saw this thing on the internet a few days ago saying that Goldberg had a stroke trying to climb the ropes. I mean, this man was struggling to climb the ropes. He, like, put his foot up there, and then it, like, completely slipped off at first, and he did, like, a little, he did, like, a little wobble back and forth, and then he got back on. Oh my god. This man is not menacing. I mean, the wrinkles are more menacing than you are. Ugh. And then people had problems when Undertaker had that match. Gosh, I can't remember. 'Cause I've been watching WWE in and out, so anything past 2023, I couldn't tell you when it happened. But, when the Undertaker did, like, his last wrestling match, then everybody was just like, he is way too old to do this, and blah, blah, blah. We're gonna look up right now. How old, sorry. I cannot, okay, he was 55 when he had his last match. It was in 2020, so it was, at least that's what the internet says. I could be wrong. But he was 55 years old when he had his last one. It wasn't a championship match. It wasn't anything like that. And everybody just didn't want him to have the match for some reason, even though I will personally take an Undertaker match anytime, anywhere. mainly just because the Undertaker, the gimmick, the character, it's really my cup of tea. I just love it, and I always have. Since I was little baby, I've loved Undertaker. So when he had the match against AJ Styles, everybody hated it, and he was 55, but that Goldberg can come walk in here, get a championship match, get a championship match the first time he shows up in years, since, I think he was the Saudi show 2020, when he got a championship match against Roman Reigns. It was the same thing, that they just throw him into the card, he doesn't have to wrestle at all, gets a championship match. Are we joking right now? It makes me mad. If you can't tell, I'm very mad because, okay, so to all the Jey Uso fans out there, he's been getting a lot of hate on the internet for some reason. I don't know why, but we're gonna get to that later because I can't deal with both at the same time. So, imagine you're back at the 2025 Royal Rumble and Jey Uso wins the Royal Rumble. You know, everybody's super happy. He's getting the push that everybody wanted. So, imagine you right now telling Royal Rumble 2025 you, after you finished watching that Jey Uso was gonna win at WrestleMania, didn't even get a main event match. He wasn't even in a main event match. He was the very first match on night one when the Royal Rumble is supposed to be to get a main event match at WrestleMania. I mean, I understand, Punk, Seth, and Roman is a main event match. But, why say that you're gonna get a main event match if it's not a main event match? But, so he would be the very, very first, match at WrestleMania. He wins, and everybody's so happy. He holds it for maybe, 6, 7, maybe 8 weeks, and I'm pretty sure he just dropped it on a random Monday night of Raw. I'm pretty sure. Back to Gunther that he lost it from. And the only reason he lost it to Gunther is just so Gunther could lose the title to Goldberg at Saturday night's main event. Whenever I'm mad, I, play with my hair a lot. Okay. But that makes me very upset. Especially because deep down, I know deep down, I really hope I'm proven wrong that Goldberg did not win against Gunther, that he did not win the world title. The only reason that I would accept that is if Rollins cashes in Money in the Bank, which I don't think he does. But that would be the only way that I, accept that, if that makes sense. But at the same time, I also wouldn't necessarily really like that, because, I mean, Gunther has only been pinned, well, not even really pinned, he's only lost, a very small, little sprinkle of matches. And now one of the matches that you're going to add to that is a loss to a 58-year-old man who shouldn't even be wrestling. And you're going to have Gunther lose to him? I mean, are we joking? Are we joking? Anyway, I was supposed to be on a thing. Okay. Alright, so anyway, Gunther's calling out Goldberg. Oh yeah, one more thing that I want to add is the whole reason that WWE's logic for giving Goldberg a title shot was Gunther, saying some kind of stuff about Goldberg's, mid-30s, midlife crisis son. and then they're just like, well, I mean, Goldberg's son is married, has children, has a house. I mean, are we, like, he's not the same, like, little kid that was there 20 years ago. I mean, it doesn't matter that much anymore. I mean, he has, like, almost the same tattoo as his dad. He should be able to stand up for himself. But apparently, to WWE, he can't, and that's why Goldberg gets his Saturday Night's main event title shot against Gunther. Okay. So, Gunther's over here, he's talking about Goldberg, and then Seth Rollins comes out with his briefcase. Another thing that I do want to talk about while we're on the whole briefcase is the actual custom briefcases themselves. I love when they do custom briefcases. I just love it. In the last few years, it's kind of been like only like one person every year gets a custom briefcase. But I love that they're making it now, so every person that gets that wins Money in the Bank gets a Money in the Bank, like, custom briefcase. I mean, the last few years have not really been that big of an issue for me because the people that didn't get a custom briefcase are people that just cashed in super fast, so they don't even get time to get a custom briefcase because they're not walking around with it. It's just a waste of materials. But I'm actually happy that both Money in the Bank briefcases are actually getting held on to, which is really nice. Naomi's is definitely my personal favorite, like the one I love way more out of the two. I don't know if it'll work, but I can try to show the briefcases on the screen. I don't know if it'll work, though. But, Seth Rollins' custom briefcase it's not my personal favorite, but it goes along with, like, his gimmick or whatever. It has, like, his little symbol in the O, which is kind of cool, I guess. Let's see. So, yeah, here's what I'm talking about. Here's kind of the custom briefcase that you got going on right now. Like I said, it's not my personal cup of tea, but I can appreciate it. Here's the best photo. I don't know why I didn't pull this one up at first, but it's sleek. It fits his role. So yeah, overall the briefcase is not bad. It's not bad at all. I would just, me personally, it's just, like I said, it's just not my cup of tea. But now we're gonna get to Naomi's custom briefcase, which I think is really cool. This is someone that's been a fan of Naomi for a long, long time. I love the big, like, the caution tape, like, not, the caution tape, briefcase that she has. It's really cool. And as a person that's been a fan of Naomi for a long time, like, basically since childhood, I just love her new gimmick. Like, she finally gets to actually show off, like, her acting skills and everything like that, because ever since she's debuted this new character, it's been incredible for her, and I'm very happy that she actually, and I'm hoping that the briefcase does get cashed in successfully and she does win a world title, because I feel like she is long overdue for a new title. Not just a new title, just a title. She has deserved a title for so long. So that makes me very happy. Anyway, I'm still on the promo. This is taking forever. Okay, so Seth Rollins comes out and starts talking to Gunther and interrupts him, and then CM Punk comes over, starts beating down on Seth Rollins, so Seth Rollins runs away because of course he does. And then LA Knight comes over, starts jumping in it, so they're just all getting into a really big brawl. So that's about it that I have on that. About it? I've been talking about that for like forever. Okay. So Bayley and Lyra ended in a double pin, which was really weird, and I'm actually kind of surprised that the ref caught that, because at least I did not pay attention enough to this match to the point where I actually noticed it. But yeah, I don't really have anything else to add on that either. It was a decent match. And then in the main event of Raw, you had Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, the Paw Patrol, which I saw that online and I love it. So the Paw Patrol defeated Sami Zayn and Penta, because, of course they did. And I'm assuming it was interference. If it's not interference, then good for them. They can actually win something on their own. But, me personally, I just love Penta. He's an amazing wrestler, and he better win a championship soon. I mean, I know that he was in a big Fatal 4-Way match for a title at WrestleMania, but he definitely deserves a title, and I know that a title is going to be coming to him very fast. So that'll be really good for him. And anyway, so Paw Patrol started beating up Penta and Sammy. Then Jey Uso came over to save the day with a steel chair, and that was a pretty darn loud pop. I mean, I haven't seen someone get that loud of a pop for quite a minute, especially since it's a U.S. crowd, so that does not expect me. I'm gonna see if I can't pull up the clip. Once again, at least on the last podcast episode, it did not work. Like, my screen sharing didn't work, so I'm just crossing my fingers that it works. If it doesn't work, then, it should be really easy to look up online if you ever needed to, if you haven't seen it yet or anything like that. I'm praying that you have. So, I mean, Jey Uso is insanely over. And this also makes me bring up social media, specifically Twitter. I'm not calling it X. For anybody that gets butthurt by that, I don't care. Alright. Twitter is an awful place for wrestling fans. And one thing that everybody does on Twitter is why does everybody hate Jey Uso on Twitter? Let's not do this, okay? Since the whole Bloodline story started, everybody has loved Jey Uso from the very beginning. From him being in the Usos and branching off and doing his own thing, everybody loved him. Let's not just say, like, we're not gonna do this, where the second that someone we like comes successful, then we're just gonna hop ships, okay? We need to stop doing that. Like we need to stop the fickle wrestling fans who want something to happen, it happens, and then they get upset about it. I mean, now, like I said, everybody's hating on Jey Uso, and I don't understand why, especially because the hating does not transfer to in real life. See, I would be quiet now if the fact that, just like you saw in the clip, like, this guy is over with the fans, especially these really young kids that go to their shows to see, like, their favorite superstar. I mean, there's a ton of people wearing Yeet shirts. Everybody is yeeting in the crowd. Everybody's cheering. So the fact that something like I'm trying to think of the word. Whenever I'm mad, I just stutter over my words and cannot get them out. That's what's happening right now. But so you have Jey Uso, who's hated all over Twitter, and then you have the Jey Uso during the weekly shows that everybody loves. And I don't understand it. I don't understand the point for everybody to hate him in the first place. I mean, he's a great wrestler, and he's always been a great wrestler. So I don't understand all the hate now. Does he have things to work on? Of course he does, because everybody can. Even like these crazy popular wrestlers, like even John Cena, like he's not perfect every single match, and he still, even if you asked him, he probably has many things that he could work on and still get better at. But let's not act like we didn't love Jey Uso for years. So then he wins the Royal Rumble, and before the Royal Rumble, everybody loved him. Then after he won the Royal Rumble and got the world title, then everybody started hating on him. And then now people are starting to like him again on the internet. I don't understand why. It doesn't make sense. Okay? Ugh. Alright. I'm gonna take an intermission. Alrighty. I'm back. I don't know if I'm gonna edit an intermission in there or not, but, so, we're gonna go and get into SmackDown. We started the show with Drew McIntyre returning and interrupting Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton from having a promo segment. I didn't really tune very much into this promo, and I'm gonna be completely honest, I didn't even know Drew McIntyre was gone. How long has he been gone? Because I don't remember. I'm kind of an on and off wrestling fan. I'll watch a couple shows, then skip a couple shows, and watch the other ones. And at least now that I'm doing this podcast, maybe that will change. We never know. Okay. And then Orton, Arcade McIntyre, and again, I would kind of have to go and watch that through, because I didn't necessarily see this clip and be able to talk about this at all, because I really have been struggling, especially tuning into SmackDown, so I'm gonna be completely honest, I really did not watch this segment. So you would have to go back and watch it to kind of get a better opinion for yourself. That's also another thing I would like to point out. My opinion is not always going to be correct. If you have a different opinion, that's totally okay. It's okay for me to have a different opinion than you, because apparently people on Twitter don't understand that. So I'm just going to make that clear. This has nothing to do with anything about your opinion. If you, for example, think that Goldberg should be walking out of Saturday Night's Main Event with his hand held high and getting a championship match, and you just love Bill Goldberg, and you're so happy that he got that opportunity, then good for you, but this is my opinion, and it's... at least that example is kind of right. At least at least some parts of it. Okay, at least some parts. All right. Anyway, and then Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair defeat the Secret, Hervis and B-Fab and Michin in a triple threat tag team match. If I'm not mistaken, the Secret, oh wait, Oh yeah, that's Chelsea Green's faction. It's also Secret Service. I made a typo. I'm so sorry. I can't believe I said Hervis. Anyway, um, I don't really care about this match either. Mainly just because I don't care about anything Charlotte Flair does anymore. I mean, back when I was a kid, back when I was like 7 years old, I loved Charlotte Flair. She was, especially since a little bit further back then, like she was really my cup of tea. Um, I mean, it probably has been longer than 7 years now I think about it. I've been watching it since like 2017, 2016. So I'm a relatively new wrestling fan. And I used to love Charlotte Flair. But I don't like her anymore. If that's a nice way to put it. And nobody likes her either. See, the difference between her and the difference between Jey Uso is that in person, people like Jey Uso. Everybody just hates Charlotte Flair. um, and I can't even say very much more on that because that's just it. Is that nobody likes, nobody on the internet, nobody in person is cheering for Charlotte Flair. If you're a fan of Charlotte Flair today, then that's cool. I'm a fan of Charlotte Flair, like the Charlotte Flair 8 years ago, not the 2025 Charlotte Flair. I don't like it. Another thing that makes something that I think about almost all the time when I bring up Charlotte Flair is whenever she whenever she walked out. I think it was the Raw after WrestleMania, and she was walking out. Everybody was booing her. out of the arena, and she comes over there and she's just like, I just got off of the greatest match in WrestleMania history. Stop the cap. Stop the cap. I love Tiffany. Love is very much of a stretch for Charlotte Flair. I don't think anybody wanted Charlotte to win, but they at least wanted a good match. That didn't, oh my gosh, my eye. That didn't happen. The match was not good. And when the 1, 2, 3 hit, I verbally said thank God. When they got off my screen, I couldn't take the match anymore. It was bad. It was bad. And, I mean, the hate on the internet has gone too far with Charlotte Flair. I mean, I don't think she deserves that amount of hate on the internet. I mean, that amount of hate is a pretty big stretch. So, yeah. Anyway, Charlotte Flair, and Alexa Bliss, I don't really like them teaming up either. I mean, I would rather just, I would rather just Alexa Bliss go smack Charlotte Flair's face and go beat her down and her win. And another thing is that I also saw this on the internet. This has been happening for a long time. I mean, this has been happening for months, but, there's moves on the internet that are so cruel. Just like the thing that's like, Charlotte Flair's 3 divorces. Charlotte Flair's 3 divorces didn't last longer than Roman Reigns' undisputed championship reign. His 1,316-day reign. And that is just so diabolical. That is just so mean. I mean, someone posted, a picture. Let me find it. I'm sure pretty much every wrestling fan has seen it by now. Oh, God, here it is. Alright. So, again, if you can't see this, I'm very sorry. I'm gonna warn you beforehand. This is kinda It's, it's a cycle, according to this man. Get a title shot, get injured, get a divorce, get face surgery, then get another title shot. And that is just diabolical. Oh yeah, and then okay, and then the fan, and then she commented on this post saying, "Cute. Now would you like me to tell you what I think of you and your face?" And the person that posted that said, "At least it's my original face though." That like, that is just so diabolical. I've not seen anything about this, so don't ask me about it. Uh and this is that this segment that she had with Tiffany, uh I'm just gonna I'm just gonna tell you the end of it, is that then she comes over and she's just like, well, Kaiser's in my DMs, which is, I'm pretty sure he's in a relationship with Tiffany Stratton. I don't know whether they're married, not married, I don't know. But she posted on Twitter, after being blindsided by my personal trauma on live television, my character said something on air that was not true, and I'd like to take this opportunity to clear the air. I should have never called the Chicago fans smart. I sincerely apologize. Yeah, so there was that, and that was, but yeah, especially after that, I mean, how can you really be the biggest fan of Charlotte Flair after that? I mean, that was just so sad. Okay, we're gonna get on, because I could talk about Charlotte Flair forever. So the Y6 defeats Montez Ford, Johnny Gargano, Berto, and Chris Sabin, I think. I don't catch up on that either, but, where has the Y6 been? The Y6 has been gone for, like, forever, and they just show up and do a match, but at least they won it. At least they won it. I can't tell you very much about the match, but, thank God that they won it, because that would just put them more in the dirt. I mean, they had a phenomenal debut. They were so over with all the fans, and they had, like, 2 matches, and then were just gone, and, haven't shown up since until today, I'm pretty sure. So I don't know where they went, but I'm glad to have them back, and I hope that they can keep, like, this streak going and kind of get back into, and kind of dive more down into that hype that everybody, I think, lost by now for the Wyatt Six. Anyway, then we go to, speaking of Tiffany Stratton, the WWE, excuse me, the WWE Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton has elected Hall of Famer Trish Stratus as her challenger at WWE Evolution. Did I know that you could just elect who you face? No, but apparently you can. I've probably watched someone do that before, and I still I still did not remember that. But I guess that kind of makes sense. I'm pretty sure that Tiffany and Trish are still, like, on a good page, especially since I think at WrestleMania 39, no, WrestleMania, I don't know, either WrestleMania 39 or WrestleMania 40, I don't know. But either one of those WrestleManias, they were, like, a tag team for that. Yeah, they were a tag team for that. So I guess it kind of makes sense. Again, it's whatever. I mean, I'm not even gonna be here to watch it anyway. I'll just have to catch up on it. So, actually no, I might not catch up on it. I mean, I'll look and see, like, the results, but I don't know if I'm gonna watch anything, especially because the next podcast episode is not coming out till at least August. Have a canoe trip, then I have band camp, then I have, family vacation. So, yeah, another podcast not coming out for a little while, so sorry. Anyway, moving on. Andrade and Rey Fenix defeat Fraxium. Again, I don't really have that much of an opinion on the tag team division since, I mean, you barely see them anymore, and when you do, then, I mean, but I'm also not, I'm also not necessarily, very good at catching up on things and warming up to new people. It takes me a long time to, warm up to certain wrestlers. But one wrestler that I specifically like that hasn't been on the main roster that long is Rey Fenix. Rey Fenix is incredibly fun to watch. He had the match at WrestleMania 41 against El Grande Americano, which is not Chad Gable. None of you are going to tell me that El Grande Americano is Chad Gable. That's just wrong. You're wrong. But, anyway, Rey Fenix had to step in for Rey Mysterio, and he was incredibly fun to watch. El Grande did get the win, but, Rey Fenix is, definitely he's very fun to watch. That's all I can say. I've said that like 100 times. And then in the main event, for some reason it's the main event, Jacob Fatu and Jimmy Uso defeat Solo Sikoa and JC Mateo. I'm just gonna put this out there that JC Mateo is not Samoan. He's not a part of the bloodline in any way. The Triple H he just looked at JC Mateo and he's just like, yeah, you look enough like a Samoan, get in there. I mean, okay. Okay. But Jacob Fatu and Jimmy Uso were definitely the right people to win the match. I don't get very invested in any bloodline shenanigans anymore, especially since Roman's not very involved in it anymore, and he was, obviously, like, a big crucial part of the bloodline story. And on top of that, it's just lasted too long. It's lasted so long. In my opinion, the whole bloodline, like, the main story was done, like, the first episode of Raw back in January that debuted on Netflix, where they had I think it was like a tribal combat match for the Ulafala and Roman won. That was like, to me, that was the end of the story, and that was curtains. Anyway, so I don't keep you here too long. We're gonna go through Night of Champions. I can't remember when Night of Champions was, but, it was pretty recently. So, Cody Rhodes defeated Randy Orton to win the 2025 King in the Ring finals. I don't really have too much of an opinion on it. I loved Cody, I love Randy, and I'm praying, I'm crossing my fingers that we get a feud with Cody and Randy, eventually, because I really want one. I'm bloodthirsty for one. And then Rhea Ripley defeated Raquel Rodriguez in a street fight. One thing that I will say is Raquel totally showed out. She said that was my time to shine and I'm going to deliver it. And she did an amazing job. Very sorry about that. Okay. That was an intermission that I was unexpected, but it was okay. Alright, so, yeah, Raquel totally showed out in that street fight. And it's really unfortunate what happened to Liv. Big shoulder injury, she's gonna be out for months. So we're praying that she gets okay, but Raquel definitely is not able to just go back after that match, because she did a phenomenal job. Sami Zayn defeats Karrion Kross. Now, one thing I guess I can say is Karrion Kross is not my cup of tea. I know a lot of people have been loving Karrion Kross and everything like that. he's not necessarily in my cup of tea, and I do think that Sammy was the right winner, but I am also intrigued on where his character is going. Let's see. Solo Sikoa defeats Jacob Fatu for the United States Championship. Now, this really surprised me because they haven't really been building up Solo Sikoa that much, other than Jacob turning on him in the Money in the Bank ladder match. But I don't feel like Jacob Fatu's run was even close to being done. I mean, they had so much more. I feel like they could have done so much more with that reign, and they just didn't. And it makes me kind of upset. But it's alright. I'm pretty sure that Jacob Fatu is going to win it back at some point. Especially since it was due to shenanigans, which is why he lost it. Which is not surprising. So Jade Cargill defeated Asuka to win Queen of the Ring finals. Again, this one was also not very surprising either, but the main thing that I think will happen is Naomi will cash in on a title, win, and then it will be Jade versus Naomi at SummerSlam, and I'm very excited for that. And last but not least is the undisputed WWE Championship match. John Cena defeats CM Punk. Wow, I'm so surprised. But one thing that did happen in there, which I think is actually leading to John Cena turning face again, is that he picked up his title. He was gonna hit Punk with it. The ref was down, but he put it away, saying, "I don't want to win like that." But they also kind of shoved that out of the way, so it didn't mean anything because Rollins intervened, then attacked CM Punk, and then John Cena just capitalized and won. But that part does mean something. And now that we know that it'll be Cody and Cena at SummerSlam, I feel like Cody's going to win the title back. And then we're going to get face Cena for the rest of his run. And I really hope so, because I can't deal with Travis Scott showing up anymore. And yeah, that's all I have to talk about. So I really hope that this podcast episode did turn out good. Yeah, I really hope that it did turn out good and you guys do like it. And I do want you to let me know in the comments if this is something that you like me doing and if you'd like me to keep going with this. And I will see you back in August. I'll make sure to keep you updated on when the next podcast is going to be. This one's kind of out the blue, so I'm sorry. But other than that, thank you so much for watching Lockdown Smackdown podcast. And I'll see you later. Bye!